welcome to this special program to celebrate the anniversary of the adoption of the National Action Charter in the Kingdom of Bahrain. We celebrate this year with the theme Charter of Gold. We celebrate today the Bahraini gold medalists who gave the golden theme to this year's charter anniversary. They are well-dedicated and passionate athletes who raised Bahrain's flag around the world. We are joined today by a number of teams and individuals to speak about their journey and their efforts in winning the gold, but after this short break. Welcome back. With us in the studio are Jiu-Jitsu gold medalist Ali Monfaridi, Mohammed Sina Monfaridi, Ali Ebrahimi, Jassim Al-Abbasi and Najad Al-Gosaibi. Thank you very much for joining us today and congratulations on the achievements. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. We're going to start here with Ali Monfaridi. First off, after winning this achievement and having all of the support that you did get, can you tell us a little bit about how the support started, how you got to achieving the medal at the end?
First of all, thank you for having me. Me in particular, I think it was something of a bumpy road until I got that gold medal. As we all know very well, His Highness Sheikh Nasser announced and declared that 2018 would be the year of gold early in the year, in January. Yeah. And I think every athlete somewhat made a mental note to achieve as many gold medals as possible in that year. It just so happened that it was a very difficult year for me personally. It was my first year as an adult black belt, which is the most competitive category in Jiu-Jitsu. So most of my notable accomplishments were either bronze or silver medals. And then I had a period of time in which I was injured, and then there were some other things that got in my way. In fact, I didn't get any gold medals until my very last competition in December. And that was a very difficult competition. I got my gold medal and then I got injured and I couldn't compete for the rest of the year. So it was a very close call, but that was my contribution. At the very end of the year, I managed to do it and here we are.
Well, once you did get there, I mean, once you did have the gold medal, can you recall the support or the feelings that you got after that, and especially with His Highness Sheikh Nasser being part of the whole winning episode for all of you guys?
I think even before getting to that point, it always felt like I had an extra motive to try and represent my country to the best of my ability. Sheikh Nasser, in the end of the day, he is somebody we all look up to. You know, he's a leader, but he also leads by example. Yeah. So to be able to contribute to the movement that he started is an honor in itself.
Yes. Mohammed, I'm going to come to you. After winning the gold medal, do you feel like the federation, the athletic federation or association, did or provides everything that is needed to the athletes that are within these sports?
Yes, I can talk about our sport. I mean, the support that we get and we're still getting from the Olympic Committee is very clear for everyone. We start having seminars. They're bringing coaches from all the way from Brazil to stay with us for 2 or 3 weeks. The environment they are providing for us is just amazing. And we travel out of Bahrain to compete. And we know that many national teams in other countries, they don't have this support. So we are blessed to have the vision of His Highness Sheikh Nasser and all the support from him and the whole team in the Olympic Committee.
Well, we'll get back to that in a while. And I just want to ask Captain Sina now, you've been in Jiu-Jitsu for a while and you yourself have accomplished a lot of these medals and have also sort of seen the path of how Jiu-Jitsu it has become in Bahrain. What can you tell us about Jiu-Jitsu before and now and how it is focused on within Bahrain's athletic community?
First of all, we started Jiu-Jitsu in 2002. It was a very small group of us, me and my brother and Coach Reza.
Yeah.
And then after a year or two, we started to become like a group of 10 or 20.
Yeah.
Then eventually it started to improve by getting more involved into the like traveling to the competitions, and
Yeah.
then after that everywhere was aware that the jiu-jitsu is becoming a more popular
Yes, of
game,
course.
and
Yes.
then we started here.
And how about the support to the field of jiu-jitsu within the athletic community? Was there a lot of support, not just from the people, I mean also the leadership and the officials that basically show the way for athletes?
Of course, they're always supporting us whenever we travel, whenever we come back. They were, with the achievements, they were just helping us in anything from A to Z, from the traveling to the competitions or coming back, for people helping us to achieve more and more medals to Bahrain.
Ebrahimi, thank you very much also for being with us. And you, as a gold medalist, have also a lot to say when it comes to the path that you took in order to become a gold medalist. What can you tell us about the basic routine that you yourself follow before a competition?
First of all, thank you very much for having us here. Of course, getting a gold medal is not an easy thing in a very competitive sport. So it's a very intensive routine, training, diet and everything. So what we do is we start before the competition, like we decide in the beginning of the year which competitions we're going.
Yeah.
So we have a goal and we know where we, like how long we need to prepare for a certain competition for example, if we're going to the one in April, we have to start from now, 3 months before at least. So it's going to just become harder and harder by the time. And the guys help a lot in training, the coaches, and so yeah, that's it.
On your path to becoming a medalist and going into jiu-jitsu, people don't start off in athletic sports knowing that they will reach a certain goal, but basically they start off because of the love of this sport or this athletic pathway that they seek. So for you, how was it? How did you get into jiu-jitsu?
Of course, it was just a hobby in the beginning. In the beginning, I didn't even know what jiu-jitsu was, so I just rolled in and started doing this. And after a while you feel like falling in love with the game, and once you see your friends, your colleagues getting the medals and achieving something, you just start to think about it a little bit and push yourself every time. And once you get the first one, you don't want to stop.
Yes. I'm going to move on to Jassim Al-Abbasi. My question to you is, you were one of the gold medalists who was able to carry Bahrain's flag in international competitions, representing the country, representing the athletes that represent the country. How does that feel? How was that different than being in a regular championship here?
To be honest, it's an honor to have the flag in my hands on the podium. Honestly, from the beginning of this year, when His Highness Sheikh Nasser announced this year as a gold year, everybody, all the athletes, everybody was motivated in order to achieve this goal, not to hit the podium only, but to be to get the gold medal and get the first place. And I think His Highness himself was a role model to everybody when he got the first place in the Ironman's World Championship. So in his category, of course. So he was leading, and everybody else had to follow, and the achievement did not come, but with all the push and the motivation from the leadership in Bahrain.
Yes. When we talk about the different tactics of athletes in performing their sports, we specifically talk about coaches and coaching. And something that keeps repeating is repeated by the athletes, that there has to be a large kind of trust between the athlete and his coach. Can you tell us more about how that trust developed in you with your coach?
For me personally, to be honest, I might be the latest additional person into the Bahrain national team. So for me personally, when I joined the Jiu-Jitsu, it was just to lose weight, nothing else. Because of the coach, our coach Rida Monfaridi, who's heading the Bahrain national team, the motivation, the encouragement he had at the first instant when I joined this team, pushed me in order to convert me from a person who just want to lose weight to a competitor, to a local competitor, then to a person who compete internationally and also had the podium.
Amazing, amazing. Najad Al-Gosaibi, one of the things that you yourself or see in Bahrain is that once there is a sport such as Jiu-Jitsu and you see that there's a lot of competition, and also being from an area where you have different athletes competing differently, do you think the competitiveness becomes more aggressive once you reach something such as the gold medal?
For sure, yeah. I think, I mean, for me in Jiu-Jitsu, what's been remarkable is how much it's grown since I started, which was about 5 years ago. And we didn't have too many options in terms of, first of all, places to train, and then secondly, to compete. I mean, there were no local competitions. So thanks to now the formation of a Jiu-Jitsu federation and the support we've received, we have lots more schools, there's a lot of regulation going on, there's a lot of coordination, and a lot of opportunities for local people to compete and to gain experience. So that's been extremely valuable, especially for us that are regular competitors and that want to take things to the next level. So it's been a lot of progress, and it's been very beneficial. And
well, on that note, I mean, other people that want to join the sport of Jiu-Jitsu or any athletic sport at that point to take it to a championship level, what would you tell them right now when they just start?
For me, I mean, the main thing I would advise is just to be consistent with your training. I mean, if you want to take things to the next level, you have to be able to train even when you don't necessarily feel like training. If you're not entirely motivated, if you're very busy and you have a hectic schedule, finding the time to train and pushing yourself through that and still showing up to training, that's what differentiates you from a regular person that trains. And so just be consistent, show up. That would be my advice.
Perfect. Ali, the way you started at a very young age, and you did get the support, whether personally or even professionally, from people in Bahrain, from your family, and so on. What would you tell someone that was at your age when you started to start now? Where should they go? What should they do in order to reach their goals?
Well, I think it's important for somebody who's starting a sport of any kind not to get ahead of themselves. A lot of times I see this happen far too often. Somebody begins practicing a sport with the eventual goal of becoming a world champion, an achiever, and being completely dedicated. And meanwhile, they don't even know if this is entirely meant for them or if they are willing to pay the price that is many, many years of dedication. It takes quite a bit of time for you to realize if that thing is for you or not. But I think the biggest or most important piece of advice I can give somebody is that you should do it with passion, you know? Getting something in return is always gratifying. Getting something in recognition of your work, whether it's recognition or fame or money or something like that, it's all great. But if that is your eventual goal, I don't think you'll ever feel properly fulfilled. I don't think that's the kind of satisfaction a passionate athlete should pursue. I think that's how I got as far as I did. The fact that I fight because I love to fight. The fact that I represent my country because it is an honor to be given that opportunity. And hopefully I'm going to be able to do this for many more years. And I think that's the biggest message I can give to somebody who's starting out.
Yes, when we look at the new people that are going into the championships, of course, this year is the year of gold, but looking forward, what do you think should change in the sports of Jiu-Jitsu, Mohammed, for the future in Bahrain?
You know, I started Jiu-Jitsu in 2008, and I've seen the changes that's on the sport. Before, we used to travel on our own expense in the first beginning, and it was very difficult because most of us we're not professional. We have to work, but now it's everything is there. You know, the setup is there. His Highness Sheikh Nasser and the Olympic Committee, they're providing everything for us and for the youth. You know, just to put their name. All you have to do is just, you know, just show up for training.
Yes.
This is what they want from you.
Yeah.
And what we are trying to do is to be an example for this youth that a Bahraini athlete can achieve. A Bahraini athlete can reach the not only the regional gold medals, but Ali as an example, and we have Sina, and we have all the guys we are achieving on the international level.
Yes.
So we're trying our best to be an example for them, not by words, but by actually being there and achieving.
Captain Sina, when we look at the way it has evolved, Jiu-Jitsu and sports in general in Bahrain, what are the youth that you as athletes are looking for, saying, okay, this guy really has it, I think this should be invested in, this person should be invested in? What do you look for in an athlete, in a fresh new athlete?
You know, actually, I don't think that, you know, for me, I started very late. I started when I was 36 in Jiu-Jitsu. But you say late is never late and never. But, okay, I always emphasize parents to bring their kids at the early age. Don't leave them in front of the TVs and mobiles, there is no use of it. Force them to go to any kind of a sport. I don't think about Jiu-Jitsu only. Jiu-Jitsu or any kind of a sport. This is we were going to be the best start for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't leave them until late, when they become lazy or. Start from.
And the good thing about Jiu-Jitsu, Sarah, is it's suitable for everyone.
Yeah.
All body types, all genders. And everybody can join Jiu-Jitsu as a martial art. When you come to the gym, we train at the same session, different ages, different genders. So it's for everyone.
Yes.
So this is
there like
the beauty of the sport.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the point that we really want to. I mean, you guys are gold medalists, but at the end of the day, it's not always about the gold medal. It's about performing something that you love to do, such as the sport that you're in. So my question is on that point, where when you see these people that do perform these sports and that are coming to the gym every day and so on, how do you say, okay, maybe this one should be invested in a little bit more because he has a good talent or he's good at what he does?
Honestly, it's about the person himself and the mindset. And it's not about the physical capabilities, because it depends. The more you show up, the more you train, the more you're going to improve on your personal level. So we see many guys that have the potential physically, they're strong and they have the natural build to be a good athlete, but they don't have the heart, we can say, for the sport. So it's very hard to tell. You have to see the guy and see, like Najad said, you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key for success. So if you see this element in someone, I think this is the key of success.
I'm going to move on to Ali and ask you, there is always this stereotype when it comes to any kind of martial art, and Jiu-Jitsu is one of the stereotyped sports where people think you as athletes get hurt, you have a short time before your career ends as an athlete. Let's just talk about that stereotype and tell us more about whether it's wrong, whether it's right, and how it can be fixed in people's minds.
I think you cannot avoid injuries in any situation, whether you're doing sports, you're not doing sports. You might get injured walking out in the street, you know? Yeah. So I think, people just seeing the fighting part of the sport and they think, you're gonna get injured and it's gonna be bad for you. On the other hand, if you look at Jiu-Jitsu in particular, you see a lot of people, like, let's say, older people doing this. So if you compete internationally, you see people over 50, 60 competing,
Yes.
and you'll be surprised how good they do and how well they perform.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is correct. Injuries can happen from doing any kind of sport or anything else.
Yes.
So,
That's a good point, but when we look at the new generation of athletes coming out and you talk to the parents themselves, there is a kind of ignorance, or let's say there's not enough awareness given about sports such as Jiu-Jitsu. Do you think it's important to provide this awareness, and is it provided here in Bahrain?
Of course, it's very important. I think in the last few years, the focus and the attention to the martial arts in general has increased in the last few years. And I think His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad also is playing a very big role here. Educating people, spreading the awareness amongst amongst the parents is very important. Showing, as my colleague said, showing the bright side of the sport, showing the side of, Jiu-Jitsu or any other martial art is not about fighting only. There are a lot of techniques. Whoever you are, whatever strength you do have in your physical body can be nothing versus the technique if you do have a very good technique in Jiu-Jitsu, for example. So these things, I think these things are distributed and the awareness is better nowadays in let's say in the parent society.
Okay, all right. My last question to you before we end this segment is, this year is the Charter of Gold. It is also the gold year for you as athletes. Is it important to have these kind of incentives to promote athleticism in general in Bahrain? Do you think it has helped in making you as athletes reach these initiatives of having the gold medal or even just perfecting a certain sport?
I think it certainly does. I think these sorts of initiatives raise our sort of expectations, and maybe at certain times even adds a little bit of pressure, which is not a bad thing at high-level competition. So I think initiatives such as these are very beneficial, and for me personally, I think for all of us, it's been a real honor to be able to contribute during sort of initiatives such as these, and to be able to just help further Bahrain sporting achievements.
What's next in Bahrain? What's next for you guys, which pertains to Bahrain championships and so on?
Well, we all have different tournaments that we sign up to depending on our schedules and what we're capable of doing. For myself, I'm competing again in another 2 weeks in London.
Yeah.
So I'll hopefully try to replicate past results and get the gold again.
Perfect. How about you, Ali? What's next for you?
Probably that will be the World Professional Championship in April. Last year, I got third place, which was a very big deal for Bahrain and myself on a personal level to achieve at adult black belt. And now we find ourselves in a situation where getting third place again is just entirely unacceptable.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be silver either. I'm going to go for that gold medal. And after that, I'm going to have to set even higher goals, because that's the nature of the sport, and that's how one has to always set their goals.
Inshallah. How about you, Mohammed? What's next for you?
My main focus now is in April, World Championship in Abu Dhabi. Last year I got second. The year before that I got first, so I'm trying to claim back my title. So this is my main focus this year, and hopefully I'll get to add another maybe 3 or 4 competitions before the end of the year.
Perfect. How about you?
For me, if they don't call me as a referee in Abu Dhabi World Pro, because I am also a referee,
Yes.
I'm going to compete also in Masters Abu Dhabi
Perfect.
World Pro.
Amazing. How about you? Hi, Ebrahimi.
I think we're all the same here. We're going for the World Pro in Abu Dhabi in April. So hopefully we can get a gold medal in that one.
I'm guessing you're doing the same?
It's the same, yeah.
Well, we wish you guys all the luck in competing for yourselves and also for your country. And we will continue our special coverage, but after this short break.
نعاهدكم أن نبقى بينكم ومعكم في كل خطوة ومرحلة من أجل رفعة البحرين.
على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حمد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحد، غلاكم ما وصل لحد، وميثاق الولا المكتوب على منهج ملك القلوب، جمعنا في طريق الخير وحقق غاية المطلوب، وحقق غاية المطلوب، على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حمد ممتاز، على مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحد، غلاكم ما وصل لحد، على صدر الزمان يباع دليل النهضة والعمران، وفي عهد الرخاء الزاهر تقارب يجمع الأديان، تقارب يجمع الأديان، ومغزى البعد في التفكير تجلى بحكمة التغيير، وشفنا بصمة العاهل على الإصلاح والتطوير، على الإصلاح والتطوير، على صرح العطا والمجد شموخك يا حمد ممتاز، على مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحد، غلاكم ما وصل لحد، ومن يسألها للبحرين غلاكم يا حمد في وين، يجيه الرد من شعبك ملكنا منزله في العين، ملكنا منزله في العين، ونهتف من غلا باسمه حمد يا زارع البسمه، كفايه لحدان الضيق سقانا من كرم واسمه، سقانا من كرم واسمه، على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حمد ممتاز، على مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحد، غلاكم ما وصل لحد.
Welcome back. With us in the studio are the 18th Asian Games gold medalists Kalkidan, Babakadu, Amina Yusuf, Salwa Eid, Abbas, Abubakir and Eman Issa. Thank you very much for joining us today. My first question that I really want to go into after congratulating you on the gold medals is basically that the achievements that you have reached as gold medalists are partly because of the support that is granted by His Majesty the King, by the Bahrain Athletes Federation. So I'm going to start with you, Eman. Can you tell me a little bit about how the federation supported you as athletes?
Yeah, as athletes, the federation really supported us in everything. They provided us with the best coaches in the world. They take us to the best place to train so that we can prepare, and they really tried for us.
Yes, yes. Abbas, you yourself are also one of the gold medalists, and you had a very long path, and I'm sure there was a lot of work that went into it. Can you tell us about the support that you always talk about from His Highness Sheikh Nasser, from your coaches? How did everything come into place for you to reach the gold medal at the end?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. They really tried their best and they support us 100%, especially the Sheikh. side, he supports us 100%. Then the federation too, they try 100%. Then we do our best.
Yes.
Then we achieve this.
And can you tell us, Salwa, about your part in this? I mean, you yourself are a track medalist and 400 meters, if I'm correct. And what can you tell us about how you reached to your final medal goal, and what was your specific regime that you did every time before you start a championship?
Normally, I go to trainings. It depends with the coach, but sometimes we train morning and evening, and sometimes basically just morning. And normally, you have to watch your weight, and you have to watch what you eat also. Then basically, it's not something different from everyone else, but like it's basically waking up, being determined, going to training, focusing on your goals, listening to your coaches, and everything will fall in place.
Perfect. Amina, I mean, I just want you to add on what Salwa said. She specified, of course, the coaches, the good eating, the support that you give yourself as athletes. How is that available for you here in Bahrain? Do you feel like you have everything that you need?
Yes, I feel I have everything I need in terms of good coaches, in terms of the atmosphere. It's okay. And the federation also have been very supportive.
Yes. And do you feel I mean, the next step for you is you guys are preparing for an upcoming championship. So what can you tell us about your preparations?
Yeah, the part of the preparation is me listening to my coach, because number one thing is you believing in your coach. If you believe in your coach, you will achieve what you have to do. And you also have to dedicate, listen to him, train well, eat at the right time, wake up at the right time, and do whatever you want to do for you to be able to achieve your goal.
Yes. Kalkidan, you also are one of the main gold medalists that has won, and there's a lot of work that went into your medal and what you have achieved. What will you do to prepare for your next medal, hopefully?
Okay, I will prepare for the World Champions coming next September. Then Olympic champion, I will focus. I will hard for training with my coach.
Yes. And when you talk about your coach and the training that you did with him, what can you tell us about what is provided to you, the coaches, the place for training, the people that will help you to achieve your goals? Just tell us about those.
Yeah, that helped me, my coach, and at Bahrain Federation. That's a good village. I will stand for training prepared.
Yeah.
The good coach.
Perfect.
Yeah, support me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Eman, I'm going to come back to you and ask you about, of course, all of the preparations you yourself have put into your championships. Tell us the feeling that you got after you won your last medal.
The feeling's always very, very excited. The feelings I got anytime I get my gold medal is very, very excited. Yeah. I first of all dedicated it to God, second to Sheikh Nasser, and then my federation, and goes to my coach too, because they really all together made it happen. Yeah. And my strength, if not for their support, I won't get there. I might have the strength, but without their support, I might not get the gold. So first of all, I dedicated it to God, and then Sheikh Nasser, and the federation, and my coach.
Perfect.
So that's the feeling that comes.
Amazing, amazing. Abbas, you are a young athlete. What is your message to all of the Bahraini and non-Bahrainis that want to go on the path of becoming a gold medalist athlete? What would you say to them?
I would say to them that they need to believe by themselves, to make sure that they put it for their mind to say they can do it. Yeah, if they put it, they can do it, they can do it, sure, because our federation, they will support them 100%. So just to believe by themselves, then come and train, they will get it.
Amazing. Salwa, there are a lot of female athletes, and we always look at this as a supportive thing in Bahrain. Bahrain supports female athletes, females in general. Female athletes that are starting on their path to becoming the next athletes that carry the gold medal for Bahrain? What would you tell to them?
You just have to know that whatever a man can do, a woman can do better, because as women, we always try to belittle ourselves, like believing we are weak and we can achieve what anyone has achieved because we are weaker versus, but I want to let them know that they can achieve whatever a man can, and if they believe in themselves and they dedicate to what they want to achieve, that it's possible.
Yes, great. Amina, you yourself have been with the Bahrain Federation for a while now. What can you tell us about the support that the Federation gives to fresh athletes?
Yeah, they try to encourage them. They try to give them the necessary support in terms of giving them coaches, in terms of giving them whatever they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they try to encourage them not to give up, not to keep going, to keep improving, because they might not get there now, but they try to tell them, keep on pushing, keep on trying.
Perfect. Kalkidan, before we finish this part, I want to hear from you any kind of tip that you would give to young people who maybe want to become athletes, but they're not sure yet of themselves. What would you tell them from your opinion? What should they do next? For anybody that wants to become an athlete.
It's not like job. Running it is very struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Running, no pain, no gain, like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hard training.
Hard training is what you would give them their tip.
Yeah.
Well, that is great. We're going to go for a break and we're going to come back to talk more with more gold medalists. Stay tuned.
بحرين ويا شمس النهار إذا ارتأت يا درة الحسن البديع بما حوت أغفتي على الكون الرحيب رحابة تمشي كما تمشي العروس إذا مشت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت سلطانها عشق السماء وأرضها أعطت حياة للزهور فأورقت تاريخها تبر وسيرتها عبر في عينها كل النجوم تلألأت بحرين سلطانها عشق السماء وأرضها أعطت حياة للزهور فأورقت تاريخها تبر وسيرتها عبر في عينها كل النجوم تلألأت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت سبانها قاد المسير للعلا قولا وفعلا فارتقت تألقت حتى غدت للمجد رائدة الوار واستوطنت صدر السماء فأشرقت ربانها قاد المسير للعلا قولا وفعلا فارتقت تألقت حتى غدت للمجد رائدة الوار واستوطنت صدر الزمان فأشرقت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت وفي شعبها عز النخيل فلا عجب أمام أطراف السماء فأثقلت للمجد والحسب الرفيع وبالناس وبسيرة علت السماء فأسدلت بحرين يا شمس النهار يا شمس النهار يا شمس النهار شمس النهار إذا ارتأت بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار بحرين يا شمس النهار شمس النهار
Welcome back. With us in the studio are Taekwondo gold medalist Dossari and Joanna Mohammed, and mixed martial arts gold medalist Mohammed AlMeamari and Mohammed Khan. Welcome to the studio with us and for being with us on this show. I'm going to start with you, Mohammed Khan. The only gold theme is an initiative that was launched by His Majesty the King's representative for Charity Work and Youth Affairs, Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa. And when he dubbed 2018 as the Year of Gold, there was a lot of pressure on all of the athletes. But how did this inspire you to achieve this success?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. His Highness Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, he's a great supporter for us, and this for us goal to finish this year, and it was really hard for us, and we had to do it. For His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, we had a great support, and Alhamdulillah, we have everything from his side, and we had a lot of pressure because we had to done it, and we had hard work and strict rules, and we have to follow all these things and to get the gold, and Alhamdulillah, we done it.
Yes, perfect. Hard work and achieving high goals is something that Sheikh Nasser always looks forward to, as well as His Highness Sheikh Khalid, especially in the MMA field. Do you feel that the support that is given to you as an athlete in MMA is adequate to reach the goals that you want?
Yeah, we want to thank Sheikh Nasser and Sheikh Khalid for all the support that they gave us. The support is all what the athlete needs from supporting. Sheikh Nasser gave us 2018 as the only gold year.
Yeah.
So that inspires all the athletes to work hard to achieve the gold only.
Yeah.
In MMA, our biggest supporter is Sheikh Khalid. He's always with us. He's supporting us with everything that we need. He is even with us in the fight cage.
Yes.
He's giving instructions, supporting everything, and that's why we got the medals. We got the achievements thanks to him and for his support. The support from Sheikh Khalid also get us to get to the higher achievements.
Yes.
We are aiming to have the gold medal in the World Championship that will be happen in Bahrain 2019. So we hope all of our team and the MMA team, we got the gold medals.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Joanna Mohammed, you are a gold medalist in the field of Taekwondo specifically, and you made a lot of heads turn, especially for the Bahraini women that do want to achieve more. How is the support for Bahraini women athletes?
Support from Bahraini athletes? So basically, for us, because women are not very into the sport, sometimes you can see like not very many can play it, or they feel like the culture is an issue for them.
Yeah.
But for us, we believe in ourselves, like we can do it. We're no different than any other athletes abroad, you know? So Sheikh Nasser gave us a lot of support, a lot of motivation for having the Year of Gold. So we believe in this word, the Year of Gold. So that's why we feel like, yeah, we need to do something. We need to do for women, for our parents, for ourselves, for our coach, for Bahrain. So that's why we need to do something. So we trained hard just to achieve something, just to rise Bahrain's flag.
Yes.
So I hope all women do it.
Yeah.
Don't feel afraid. Don't feel like, oh, this is not for us.
Yeah.
So I feel I give all support to them.
Perfect. Dossari, you are also a gold medalist when it comes to the field of Taekwondo. What can you tell us about the support of His Highness Sheikh Nasser to your sport and to athletes in general?
Sheikh Nasser, he a big motivator for us because he give all the sport people a hope to make something, make achieve.
Yeah.
In international championship, there are a lot of women who actually are good,
Yeah.
like really good.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Injuries is usually the thing that people first think of when they think MMA, mixed martial arts. I mean, also for the new athletes that are coming on the field, from your experience, is having an injury always something that scares people off from coming to MMA?
Yes, because MMA is a really hard game, and it's a mixed martial arts. There is a boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
all of these things, kickboxing. You have to do it, and there is a lot of injuries, and it's a good game, smart game, also hard.
Yeah.
Any kind of fitness you can get from that also. And but if you want to be a fighter, you have to be serious in your training, and you have to follow your goal. And there is injuries coming, there is a lot of things coming, and
Yeah.
it's hard work to do.
Yes, of
And
course.
it's not easy, but it's easy also when your heart is ready for this. And there is anyway, if you go, there is up and downs coming. You have to follow, and you have to take steps and go forward.
Yes. Mohammed, you won the gold medal, and you're going to be competing in upcoming championships. How is the support for you from the leadership, from His Highness Sheikh Nasser, in the upcoming championships? How do you feel?
Alhamdulillah, we have great support from His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa and His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa. He's Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa. He's with us. He's training he's coming every day for us. He watching our training.
Yeah.
He's give us motivation.
Yeah.
And he's looking to us. He's like our big brother, and I always thank to him. And he's a great leader, alhamdulillah. He's a really good supporter, and also for youth, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa. He's for Bahrain youth support, all Olympic community is a great support.
Yeah.
And they are both brothers. They are both sportsmen. They knows how they feel sportsmen.
Yeah.
And how they go up, and they can feel because they are both sportsmen.
Yes.
And sportsmen knows other sportsmen, and they can feel the other sportsmen feeling.
AlMeamari, we talked about the support from His Highness Sheikh Nasser, His Highness Sheikh Khalid, but what can you tell us, what is next for you personally and for the Charter of Gold, the Year of Gold in MMA?
For me personally, I want to get the gold medal in the World Championship.
Yeah.
As last year I got the silver medal after 4 hard fights.
Yeah.
So I reached the final, but I didn't get the gold. But I will work hard this year to get the gold.
Yes.
In this year, also in Bahrain, to get the vision of His Highness Sheikh Nasser by having the golds only for all the athletes in all sports.
Joanna, my question to you is, you also have a championship coming up, and you guys are probably preparing for it. What is your advice to people, any athlete, male or female, that are coming into an extreme sport such as the ones that you guys have perfected and have gotten medals for?
I would say never give up, and I know it's really hard to train. You sometimes feel like you're bored of it, or like, I'm just tired, I don't want to do it, because it's tiring.
Yeah.
Because it is.
It takes effort.
But having hope and believing in ourselves is what will make us a fighter. Training hard, following a good routine and doing our best is what will make us champions.
Yes, yes. Perfect.
So yeah, I think mainly is never give up. No matter how hard it is, never give up.
Ula, you are also someone that fresh athletes would look up to because of the sport being a sport where you have achieved the gold medal. What can you have, or what advice do you have for future generations in the sport?
I tell us, believe in yourself and never give up, and don't stop, and believe in yourself and your coach.
Yeah.
And follow your dream.
Yes, perfect. The coaching part is very important, Mohammed, and I want to ask you about that. How important is it to have that connection and that trust to the coach that is training you?
Yes, we have good coaches, alhamdulillah. They are really hard worker, and from heart they are really nice to us, and they are really good, and they focus on us, and always they push us. Sometimes we had a hard training, and we get lazy, and we had something like that. They push us, and they give motivation, because they not physically, they mentally make us ready for upcoming competition, any competition, and they're really special for us, alhamdulillah. And there is for MMA, mixed martial art, there is a different coaches, wrestling, grappling, striking, everyone, and they tell us if there is any problems, you have to come anytime, and we sometimes we have some problem, we can message them and tell them anytime. I sit with them.
So they're always in
there is some problem for us, and they tell from beginning, you have to come, we discuss there is any problem in positions and the training, and if we have some problem, we go to them and sit and we solve all these things, and we make it correct, and
amazing.
Alhamdulillah, and then we go forward on same way, and they are like our big brothers and like our fathers, and in my heart, alhamdulillah, I have a lot of respect.
Okay.
And
perfect. On that note, I just have a couple of more questions. I'm going to ask you, Mohamed AlMeamari, how do you prepare for the next championship? What is a daily routine where you are preparing for a championship?
Our daily routine is before every championship, there is a training camp. It is for 1.5 months or 2 months. For our training camp, sometimes we have it here in Bahrain or outside Bahrain. In this training camp, they provide us with all the support that we need, from nutritionists, training coaches, everything that the athletes need for the training camp.
Amazing, amazing. My last question to you, Joanna, is going to be, before we end this segment, is after winning that gold medal, how did it feel? What was the first thing that came to your mind when you won it and you had the Bahrain flag to carry up on that podium?
It's the happiest moment ever. Like, it feels like after all that training, I finally achieved something. You know, okay, so the year of gold is a big motivation to me. Okay, I went to a lot of competition in 2018, but it's not always you win something, you know?
Yeah.
So losing is not something to be ashamed of, but losing is learning. So learning, then finally you achieve something. It's something really the happiest thing. Like, I would really, it's inspiring and makes you want to do something next. Like, this is not the end. I have something more. I can do something more.
You carried the Bahraini flag. How did that feel?
It's really amazing. It's really amazing. Yeah, it's nice. Feels good. Like, having the flag rise up in another country is something really to be proud of. So
yes, perfect. Thank you very much for all of you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And this brings us to the end of this special episode of our coverage of the National Action Charter anniversary and how it played a great role in empowering the young generation in all fields. Thank you for watching and goodbye.